completely different.
Joy Taylor mysteriously sidelined by Fox in the wake of bombshell sex lawsuit. Now, I covered this back in January, so let's go back to that. I saw this next headline, and I could not believe my eyes, but also I could kind of believe it. There is a lot of skankiness that goes on at Fox Sports 1. Specifically with Joy Taylor, who's getting passed around like a blonde at a backyard party. Oh boy. 11 stunning accusations from the Fox Sports workplace misconduct lawsuit. On Sunday, news broke that Fox Sports, several prominent on-air personalities, and an executive have been named defendants in a wide-ranging workplace misconduct lawsuit in California. The suit, brought on by a former Fox Sports hairstylist who worked at the company for over a decade, details allegations of sexual harassment from former Fox Sports 1 Skip Bayless and Fox Sports executive Charlie Dixon. Executives being scumbags? No, that never happens. Along with racially insensitive comments by current Fox Sports 1 host Joy Taylor. Fox issued the following statement to Front Office Sports. We take these allegations seriously and have no further comment at this time. Of course you don't, because you got caught. And you're probably wondering, come on, Ryan, it can't be that bad. Ooh. According to the hairstylist allegations, Skip Bayless spent years making sexual advancements towards her. This included lingering hugs and kisses on the cheeks while putting his body against hers and pressing against her breasts. During the normal course of doing Skip Bayless's hair. Can you imagine that? You're just trying to do your job. You're probably underpaid. And you got this creepy old man that thinks he's a big deal because incels like him, thinking I can just get laid, even though I believe he's married. At one point during the haircut, Skip Bayless referred to the hairdresser as voluptuous, with English being her second word. She was not familiar with the term. Per the filing, Skip Bayless seemed amused and told her to figure it out. She later asked a coworker what the word meant and was mortified. Mr. Bayless then started being more aggressive and directing her advances. She continued and said she didn't want to date him because he works with her as she is a single mom and needed her job. Then several years after Skip Bayless's initial advances, she confronted the undisputed host about health issues she had developed in an effort to cease any further harassment. In July 2021, the hairdresser developed issues with her left ovary and was advised it could be cancer. With a fourth biopsy scheduled, she explained her situation to Mr. Bayless, hoping that it would take pity on her and cease his advances. Instead, Mr. Bayless told her that he wanted to be with her. Dude, what is it with these sports nerds that always get caught in these allegations? They have no game. The hairdresser panicked and began rambling that there were cameras everywhere, that she had a child, and that she did not want him. What woman wants Skip Bayless? He's a repulsive man. Bayless then told the hairdresser that he fantasizes about having sex with her and asked how much money it would take to have sex with him. The hairdresser stated that she already refused $1.5 million, and Bayless said, "The more you say no, the more I want you." Bayless made racist remark towards the hairdresser, accusing her of having sex with Shannon Sharp. Approximately 1 week later, Skip made another advancement towards her. She said, "Skip, stop, you have a wife." He responded, "Aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 or 4 wives?" What a piece of garbage. I always got such an icky vibe from Skip. She responded that her father was dead, and Skip was taken aback. she made an excuse to leave. After she declined, Skip, the FS1 host accused her of having sex with Shannon Sharp, which that is the most small D energy, overcompensating thing ever, is when you can't get laid if somebody else is maybe hooking up with the person you have a crush on. You get jealous. This is where, though, I'm so excited to read this next thing. I was always very skeptical about Joy Taylor, because what Joy Taylor brings to Fox Sports 1 was never really that good. She wasn't bad. Was she anything special? No. She was not. She got big-ass boobies and no personality, which is how it usually works. Now, before I read you how Joy Taylor is a homewrecker, I want to play some of Joy Taylor's body of work. Because you're going to be flabbergasted. Here is Colin Cowherd and Joy Taylor.
I don't even have time to talk about anything. I'm so excited. You know what? And then you feel bad. There are cities out there that just can't get it going. And they're just between Tampa and Los Angeles. It's like we got all. I mean, two titties.
Two titties.
I mean, excuse me. Two cities have glommed.
And she smiled like, oh, I was choking on it earlier.
All the championships. Two cities have.
So there's that. And then here's Joy Taylor talking about working in the sports media and how she got ahead.
Wake up call, same time. How would I not know how hard it is to do the show I work on? You have to constantly reaffirm that you are good enough, that you belong there.
By giving people head.
And then always prove it. So I would just always say you got to do twice the work to get half the opportunity.
Hell yeah, write him in the office.
But that, to me...
Brandon Marshall's looking at her like, you are... I can't say that word.
The mentality I've always had on it is that just going to make me better.
Yeah.
So... Makes
you better for the next person you have sex with.
That's why I'm excellent. Because I had to be. I couldn't be average. I
had to take the Kamala Harris route of having sex with people in power.
Be okay. I couldn't be late.
Because you look like any other girl at LA Fitness. You're pretty and hot, but you're not that interesting.
I couldn't complain. I couldn't say no.
I had to make sure that never mind. 856-49-HOPPY. So here is the Joy Taylor allegations. Fox executive Charlie Dixon gave Joy Taylor the undisputed, that's the name of the show, the undisputed role as a reward for having sex with him. And what the hell is going on at Fox Sports 1? Before landing her role as a host and moderator of Undisputed, the hairdresser alleges that Joy Taylor engaged in a sexual relationship with the married Charlie Dixon, the Fox executive responsible for content decisions to secure the position. Also, she pulled an alleged Chelsea Handler. I didn't say that. According to the lawsuit, this alleged arrangement helped Taylor secure the job, but ultimately contributed to the breakdown of her marriage shortly after tying the knot. In approximately May 2016, Miss Taylor asked the hairdresser to meet for a drink in Santa Monica. When the hairdresser arrived, she found Miss Taylor, Joy Taylor, with an older man, being Fox Sports Executive Vice President of the content, Mr. Dixon. As Vice President, Mr. Dixon is overseeing all content and production. The hairdresser did not know Mr. Dixon. The hairdresser goes on to say, from their body language, she suspected that they were sleeping together. And she was concerned because Joy Taylor was recently married. Joy Taylor always acted like, oh, I'm such a feminist. I got this because I'm an independent woman. No, you take women back 100 years. I bet you were fun from the back. Mr. Bayless later disclosed to the hairdresser that he did not want Miss Taylor on the show. But Mr. Dixon was adamant that Miss Taylor should star. Oh yeah, she doesn't use teeth. Give her the role. At first, Mr. Dixon arranged a dinner between Mr. Bayless and Miss Taylor, where she arrived in provocative clothing and acted in a provocative manner. So she's thinking, I got to do the threesome tonight to get ahead and maybe give head. When that did not change Mr. Bayless's opinion of Miss Taylor, Mr. Dixon asked to approve of her as a favor to him. Reluctantly, Mr. Bayless did as a favor to his friend. Around August 2016, the hairdresser attended a dinner with Miss Taylor and her husband and Mr. Dixon and his wife. This is so good. During the dinner, Miss Taylor's husband became suspicious that Miss Taylor and Mr. Dixon were having a relationship. They're probably touching and they have that communication. Later on, after the dinner, Miss Taylor's husband found evidence of an inappropriate relationship. So she's a side chick. Dixon gropes the hairdresser at a party. Taylor tells her to get over it. The hairdresser, while attending Joy Taylor's birthday party in 2017, which was probably also an orgy, was subject in an alleged groping by Charlie Dixon after the hairstylist has been awarded a position working on Undisputed. As the hairdresser was standing near the bar facing the crowd, Mr. Dixon approached her. He asked the bartender for a drink, then put his arm around her lower back. He asked how she was doing, if she was having fun, and if she wanted a tequila shot. The hairdresser got very uncomfortable and said, no, thank you. Then Mr. Dixon moved his hand lower and started rubbing her body and grabbing her buttocks. I'm surprised he didn't do a Bitcoin podcast. The hairdresser did not know who to turn to, but as she knew Miss Taylor was sleeping with Mr. Dixon, she turned to her. Surprisingly, Miss Taylor told her to get over it. Dixon fires female talent member for refusing to have sex with him. Later in the hairdresser's tenure at Fox, a female talent member was allegedly fired for refusing to have sex with Dixon. She needed to have sex with Dixon to renew her contract. Dixon pays off Taylor's then fiance in exchange for silence about relationships. I bet Taylor was always like, oh my God, babe, I got to go cover this sports event till 11 p.m. While she's going down on somebody else, like the side chick with no credibility that she is. Man, you are an embarrassment to all women. Joy Taylor, now newly engaged to former NBA guard Earl Watson following divorce from her first husband, had her engagement broken off after Watson learned of her infidelity. I'm sure he cheated too. The NBA, they sleep around. Dixon allegedly pays for the couple's wedding deposits in exchange for Watson's silence. After learning of Miss Taylor and Mr. Dixon's sexual relationship, Miss Taylor's then fiance broke off the engagement and threatened to go public with all that he knew. Joy Taylor, again, uses her sexuality to get on the show. The hairdresser says that Joy Taylor used her sexuality to save a spot on the show. This time it was with former NFL player and current analyst Emmanuel Acho, who he is that beady. I bet they were banging on the set after the show. In February 2020, Miss Taylor asked the hairdresser to meet her for lunch in Beverly Hills. When they went there, she found her with the man, Emmanuel Macho. I'm telling you, I don't know how women do this. I know you want to get ahead in sports media, but you claim to be a feminist, but then you make all women look bad. This one's good too. Fox employees harassed a hairdresser, but isn't fired because of his role in supplying cocaine to numerous employees and talent. A behind-the-scenes employee at Fox Sports, Bobby Diaz, both racially and sexually harasses the hairdresser, but is not held accountable because he supplies cocaine to them. I mean, there needs to be a 30 for 30. I know that's ESPN. There needs to be some documentary about these skanks. All of them, all the genders. Hairdresser targeted due to her ethnicity. A Fox employee referred to as Miss M in the lawsuit began targeting her due to her Persian ancestry. One night at an informal dinner, she said, "F you, you Persian bitch." M broke a glass and threatened to harm herself. What a loser. Dixon's wife kept on Fox payroll to keep her silent about husband's infidelity. Can you imagine being married to him and just knowing that he's banging out Joy Taylor and probably other interns and you stick by him? Skip Bayless, again, tries to get the hairdresser into sex. Tell her he loves her. Man, these nerds have no game at all. Oh, Joy Taylor, I know you think you're just this independent female and you're so proud of yourself, but you're nothing more than a side chick with no credibility and some big-ass boobies.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
It's time for Hoppe in the morning.
And now, something completely different.
Ex-NFL star Marcus Wiley suggests Fox Sports scandal involving Joy Taylor cost him his job. I love when a man abuses their power to get ahead. If it's David Letterman, other people, they're crucified. But when Joy Taylor does it. Former NFL player Marcus Wiley has hinted at the alleged love triangle involving Fox Sports' Joy Taylor, Emmanuel Acho, and Charlie Dixon, and how it cost him his job with the network. Taylor is accused of using sexual relationships to get ahead because she had no talent. I never thought she was good. Clarissa Thompson's good. Kylie Kelsey's good. If you got to sleep your way to the top, you're not that good. The 37-year-old is also alleged to have used her sexuality to get on a show. Can you imagine being her? Like, you're just getting passed around like a blunt. Wiley said, "I have never heard that Charlie Dixon and Joy were sleeping together, but upon hearing that, I'm not going to lie to y'all, it makes a lot more sense. It unlocks a lot for me." She's always wondering, he's probably always wondering why, like, Charlie Dixon and Joy Taylor were hanging out in their office for talent meetings for an hour and there was moaning. They're really passionate about being better at yelling at each other about sports. The allegations about Dixon and Taylor have not been confirmed, but speaking on his YouTube show, Wiley floated a hypothetical situation involving an employee. Here is an example of how it can get uglier. What if there was an employee who lost their job or a job was negatively influenced, intimidated, moved around, put in bad situations off the network, and it was because their boss allegedly was sleeping with another employee and their co-host was sleeping with the same employee? I mean, that's the skankiness of it. She's just getting passed around. What I want to know about Joy Taylor, what I'm curious about when it comes to Joy Taylor, is if they did an Eiffel Tower, a train. If they were like, "Hey, baby, get over here. We'll give you undisputed, but you got to be undisputed here." Get it? That was a train sound effect. Get over here, Joy. Get in here, Macho, or whatever his name is. You really want that $100,000 increase in your pay, do you, Joy? And I want to get my rocks off. That's what's going on. I got muted on TikTok for making jokes about it, but that's what happened. And then that same employee coincidentally just ends up replacing that individual. It's an example, of course, but imagine some kind of love triangle where the boss and the co-host were sleeping together. Yeah, it's the skankiness of it, man. It's the same guy. Can you imagine, like, you're doing that? Maybe it's because I never had game to, like, bang a coworker on radio. Any hot girl I've ever worked with in radio just finds me repulsive. Missing out on this penis. But seriously. Oh, jeez. What's going on here? We got this video playing. We got so many pop-ups on, Daily Mail.
I'm a high energy guy.
Yeah, are you, LeBron?
I love the game.
Yeah.
The way I, able to still belong and still help my team.
You always know that's LeBron's voice because you guys talk like this. Very stoic. Next, that was a pop-up from the Daily Mail. Joy Taylor's shocking views on romantic standards resurface. This is going to be a good one. Joy Taylor's views on romantic relationships have gone viral in the wake of the bombshell interview. We got this right here. Oh, I'm sure she's going to be such a feminist about how she earned it. He didn't earn anything. Maybe an STD.
Can we just keep it a buck?
Yeah.
If they're fine enough, if they're funny enough, or if their financial status is what you want.
She sounds irritating, man.
Fine, funny, fucking money. You're throwing all boundaries.
You know she's loud during sex.
Standards. All that shit you talked on Instagram about how you would never, and this woman ain't kid, because women this and men this, it's
That's the sound of her career. Or that's the sound of the shoes scraping on the ground as they're passing her around like a blunt. Mm-hmm.
Happy hour. Happy hour.
It's time for Hoppe in the morning.
RyanHoppyRadio.com.
Happy hour will be right back.
Whenever we're going outside, all I smell is poop.
In the nuts, and we'll call it a day.